Well, that was sure nice of you to make lunch for me. I think you're the first CEO that's ever, bought me lunch.
That's right. Well, nobody gets to the top without a staff, and my staff is working on that right now.
There's a staff in there. I haven't been inside yet, but the staff is working on it. So are you ready to be a guest on Homegrown CEO?
Absolutely.
Okay. I need to tell everybody what's coming up, so could you give me a second?
Please.
Hi, I'm John Scott. I'm in Redwood City. We're going to meet Kimberly Wiefling. She is a one-woman army, a one-person global enterprise. Her consulting business has taken her from one end of the planet to the other. She's fantastic, and you're going to meet her next. From KCBS, All News 740 and FM 1069 and CBS Interactive, Kimberly Wiefling is coming up next on Homegrown CEO. Okay, that didn't work out too bad. Do you think that was okay?
That was great.
It's really
you sound
nice
like
to
a
meet
real
you.
radio announcer.
We're back here in your gorgeous patio in Redwood City. Thank you for your hospitality.
My pleasure.
You consult companies and help their management teams develop talent and staff and how to communicate with their workers and everything. You've authored or edited a bunch of books. Tell me a little bit about how Wiefling Consulting started. What was the genesis of your own company?
Ooh, the dot-com bust was the genesis of my company.
Yeah.
So you remember January 2001? It was not a pretty sight. And
Yes, I got 86 from a pre-IPO.com company.
well, I was
know exactly
working.
what that's like.
I was a VP of program management for a company called Group Fire,
Okay.
which meant we got fired as a group when the VCs took all their money away from us.
Yeah.
And so I decided I don't want to get a real job again because most work environments suck your will to live. So I decided to start my consulting business in the worst possible economy since 1980s. And I said, if I can't get it to work out, I'll get a real job. Well, I lied.
Last time I checked is 2011 and you're still here.
10 years, unbelievable.
That sounds good. You have put together these Scrappy books, and we were talking before we were taping and recording.
Right.
Scrappy is such a great word. It's usually used in the sports vernacular, perhaps. He's a scrappy shortstop, or he's a scrappy hitter. How did you adopt that word into your lexicon?
I was searching for the right title, something to describe me. Some people say she's a force of nature, but I thought, hurricanes, tsunamis, they're kind of destructive. So I was looking for a word that captured that kind of energy and spirit, but in a more positive way. And I think Scrappy does it. Scrappy's like, get it done, even though people say it can't be done, while other people are criticizing, condemning, and complaining, and you're out there doing it and figuring out how to make it happen, even if it's not exactly politically correct or socially acceptable.
Well, you got to scrap and scratch and claw and dig, and they don't make it easy for a good reason.
Well, it's business, and of course some people don't want to do that. It's very uncomfortable. Sometimes I'm uncomfortable doing what I need to do to get the job done, but I don't like to disappoint people.
Mm-hmm. I ask everyone I interview, someone's watching this and is on the fence about hanging up their own shingle, so to speak, or doing their own thing, and fear and inertia and friends and family and pressure and spouses and children. There's a million reasons to not start a company.
Oh, yes.
All right, a million really good ones.
Right.
But give me one reason why someone should start. If they've done a little homework, they've identified a solution, a product, or service.
Well,
give us some advice.
Okay, so it wasn't my first attempt at starting my own business. I had minor attempts while I was still working. I practiced, I experimented, and I was finally ready to do it. And I think for me, I was tired of watching other people run companies in ways that I was complaining and criticizing them and saying, hey, I could do it so much better. Well, now, today when I get up and I don't like how the company's being run, I have only one person to blame, myself. So for me, that kind of personal responsibility and accountability inspires me. And I work really hard for myself. Working for other people, I work really hard too, but I really never felt I got the gain from that I deserved. But when you work hard for yourself, you get all of the credit and benefit.
Mm-hmm. Do you have people that work for you? Do you have contract people that help you do things? Or are you literally your own?
Well, I'm pretty much a one-man band, but I do hire experts to help me, of course.
Yeah.
I would never try to do my taxes alone. I have a marketing consultant who helps me. I have a logistics person who does a lot of pack and prep and ordering things for me. And I always bring in partners to deliver when I know that a partnership can deliver better value. So I'd say I'm a loose affiliation of independent people who come together when the need arises.
You can find out about the Scrappy book series. There's 7 books?
There's actually 6 books in this series, 5 in English, and 1 is translated into Japanese by Nikkei Business Press. I'm happy to say the biggest business publisher in Japan.
And you can find those on your website, and they're sold on Amazon too, right?
Amazon.com, Amazon all over the world. Actually, Scrappy Project Management has been selling in Canada and Germany and France and the UK and Japan even.
You are kind of scrappy. I like you.
Amazing. It was my crazy dream to have a book that published all over the world, and dang if it didn't happen.
Terrific. You can find out more about Kimberly's company at wiefling.com. That's Wiefling. Did I get that right?
That's right.
.com. Thanks. Let's have lunch.
Let's have lunch.
Enough of this work. Come back and see us again next week. We'll have a brand new episode from KCBS All News 740 and FM 1069 and CBS Interactive. For Kimberly and me, John Scott, we'll see you next time on Homegrown CEO.